What's another good one? I think we got time for one
Saying
more.
I hate all men
Oh shit.
doesn't make sense. Change my view.
Damn.
Let's see what they say about this. Firstly, to be clear, I understand that I may be in the wrong for this one. A couple months ago, I was hanging out with a bunch of friends, mostly women, 2 men, not including me. And one suddenly started talking about how she hated all men and went on about how much she hated all men and how all men should be killed.
Damn.
That's taking it pretty far. I have said, I'm not reading this post anymore, by the way. This is me speaking. I have said, I hate women. I've said that before. When I hear a woman say, I hate men, I assume that they mean it in the same way that I would say I hate women, which is I don't hate their entire gender. It's just like if a woman does something that is typically a more womanly thing to do that, I don't know, causes an inconvenience to me or something stupid, I'll just say I hate women. Which is definitely overblowing it. And I would assume if a dude, like, if like a common thing men do is what I would describe as actual mansplaining is they go off on something, over explain something that either 1 doesn't matter, or 2, the woman clearly isn't interested, or 3, it's probably something you should keep to yourself. One of those 3. I think mansplaining gets over blanketed as a term, but if a guy is actually doing that, I would expect a woman to say the term like, oh, I hate men, because that's something a man would do.
Right.
But she obviously doesn't hate the entire gender species. That's what I'm assuming when I hear a woman say that. So I don't take offense. But with this guy, let's just keep reading this. While I understand that there are a lot of bad or evil men, and lots of / all the men she had interacted with might be part of that group, but that can't mean everyone is. Sounds to me like this guy is taking the phrase 100% literally. Right. I then said, confused, isn't that too much of a generalization? And there's got to be, an adjective before men, right? She didn't answer then, but one of the other girls sent me a message after saying that the girl was furious about what I said. Oh my God. Another thing is when I said at a later time that... Wait, what the hell? I don't think you wrote this right. I think what he meant to say. Another thing I said at a later time was, for example, what if I were to say, women are bad drivers and get into car crashes all the time, therefore I hate all women. Not that I believe that, of course. She then replied, it's not the same thing, which also confuses me. Probably because she didn't mean it literally. And he isn't, 1, she's not communicating that. 2, he's not getting that. So this is an instance where I would say I hate women, is if a woman didn't communicate something that is clear. Obviously, all women don't do that. And obviously, I don't hate the entire gender species, but that's an instance of using that generalization. He then goes on to say, for short, I think it's okay to hate a group of, in this case, men, but grouping everyone with the people that rob, attack, or rape people, and therefore saying that you hate them doesn't make sense to me. Feel free to change my view in the wrong. I think this is a very simple read and done situation, because this is just, he took the phrase 100% literally.
Right.
Now, I do think the woman probably went a little bit too far in saying that she hated all men and then followed it up with all men should be killed.
Yeah, that's a little, I would agree that's a little too far.
I think that's a little too far saying that, but I also think that he probably could have just I don't know, read between the lines a little bit. She's obviously not being, I don't know this woman, and I don't know the tone in which she said this. And if she attached all men should be killed at the end of it, you know, maybe it wasn't so obvious that she's probably saying this as a figure of speech.
So the one thing that while I agree that he's way reading into this way too much, and I'm sure she wasn't absolutely dead serious, and he's taking this too far. To his credit, I will give him credit in that he gave her the opportunity to clarify, and she didn't take it, and then was annoyed at being asked to clarify. Which kind of annoyed me, because like he said, like, well, shouldn't there be an adjective before that? Don't you hate a certain kind of man? And she's just like, ugh, and then just like ignored it, and then was mad later. I think that's a little silly, because if I said something similar, let's say I said I hate all women or whatever, and somebody goes, well, clearly not all women. You might not like certain kinds of women. I would probably say, well, yeah, I don't hate like my girlfriend, or I don't hate a lot of other very, very nice women that would mean me no harm, but certain women, like women that are bitches for no reason. Yeah, I don't like those kind of women. You're right. I hate those specific kind of women. She had the opportunity to clarify and didn't take him up on that.
Usually when someone says I hate insert gender here, usually the reasons that they would say that can apply to any human being. Like,
sure. Yeah.
If I say I hate women because a woman did this one thing that usually women do, a man could still do it, and I'm going to say I hate the same thing. Like, it's not actually, I think that phrase isn't actually targeted at the gender. I think it's targeted at the action that caused them to say that.
Right. Yeah, I would definitely.
That action that caused them to say that might lean towards a male that usually does it, but you get what I'm saying.
No, I would definitely make that distinction, because I wouldn't say I hate any particular group of any people.
Like, yeah, no particular group. I would never say that unironically. Unironically, right. I literally would never say that I hate a people group.
Because it is too generalized.
Yeah, it's too generalized. Unless the people group involves one person. Then I'll say that.
And I hate all those fuckers. All one of them. No, yeah, I think that's kind of open and shut. It's a situation of this guy's reading in too far. This woman's not doing herself any favors by making those kind of statements. But at the same time, he just needs to kind of get over it. But at the same time, when asked to clarify, she should probably take that opportunity to not seem like a hateful fuck. I would agree with him in that. She definitely portrayed herself as a hateful individual, which I'm sure she doesn't want to be known as.
Right. She didn't not, I don't say it probably, the problem should not have started because this guy shouldn't have looked into it, but it shouldn't have continued because she should have just been able to clarify.